All right, guys, I got a new one for you. This is the latest from the WE Knife Company. It's called the Kitefin. It's got a super slicey blade, about the size of a bug out. So if you like that size, you are gonna love this. Hey, how you doing? If this is your first time here, my name is Jay. Welcome to the channel. Now consider clicking on that subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. All right about now you should be looking at some specs. These are all measurements I did take personally myself. You can either pause and read here, or they'll be down in the description below so you can follow along throughout this review. Let's quickly go through the size comparisons. We're going to start with a couple of rats. We got the Captain, and then here's Tennille. Here are the Griptilians. We got, of course, Sunny and then Cher. We'll finish up with the Spydercos. You're looking at Rocky, Clubber Lang. For those of you that don't know, the Kitefin is actually, it's a type of small shark. It's really important to know that there's actually 8 different versions of this knife. Yep. And because of course they're going to be different. I mean, some of them have a bead blast blade finish. This one you can see is satin, and others have like just a 1-position clip. You can see this one is 2. Now the carbon fiber version of this knife, the show side has more of a contoured shape to it than the rest. I think that this is a very important release for WE knives. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but WE has a very large catalog of knives, okay? And some might even say too many, but you know, that's a conversation for another day. Out of that huge assortment of knives, I mean, they really don't have too many of these like mid-level knives in the $150 price range, which I think raises some valid questions here. I mean, do you want a fancy looking frame lock with S35 BN blade, titanium, and some even with carbon fiber that looks more like a collectible? Or, you know, do you want users like the Streak and Practic that have liner locks with M390 blade steel and G10 scales? Not that this is a bad thing, but the Kitefin, to me anyway, it really does. It functions and it feels like a Civivi. I will say this, I do really like this blade shape. Now, WE is calling it they're calling it a spear point. Okay, to me it looks like a drop point, but hey, they made the knife, so spear point it is. And something I really appreciate is the fact that we get a nice, just a normal sized finger choil. The action on my example is, well, it's just okay. It is super easy for me to fail the deployment. I mean, anytime I want. But the detent, okay, it's strong enough where I'm not able to shake the blade loose, but I do have to stop and pause for a second to make sure, you know, my finger's positioned just right to get a good deployment. Sometimes, you know, it even takes a little bit of wrist. And now as a lefty, resting my thumb here on the lock bar doesn't seem to have like any effect on the opening. Closing this though, it is a little better. I mean, it's not really like, you know, like free dropping shut. Then again, I mean, that blade it's very lightweight, so considering that, closing is pretty good. We do get some very aggressive jimping here. You can see on the flipper tab, and then again on the blade spine, and there's even a little bit, yep, right there on the lock bar. Even with a full titanium handle here, the traction, I'm happy to say, it's actually good. And you can see with I've got medium-sized hands, and you can see I can fit, oh yeah, all of my fingers on there. And then when you choke up, of course, there's even more, so might be able to accommodate larger hands. Not only is the pivot screw here, it's T8, but the body screws are as well. Now the clip screws, those are still going to be T6s though. Centering on mine, you can see, oh yeah, that's just about perfect. And then mine is, well, it looks like mine's locking up, let's call it about 40%. And did you notice now, try and bring you in even closer, Yeah, did you notice the hardened steel insert on this? It's black, which I don't know about you, I don't see that, you know, very often. And the internal, like the stop pin, okay, so it's going to be internal, just like on, you know, so many other WE knives. One of the big reasons that I went with the full titanium model is for, well, the symmetrical scales and the lefty love that I showed you earlier with this pocket clip. Thank you, WE. I do like this flame anno job on this titanium pocket clip. I think it's a really nice touch, but I almost would rather that the money maybe was spent elsewhere instead of, you know, fancying up this this clip, because I'd be fine with just a plain old clip like you see here on this Civivi Duris, if that meant that maybe the mounting point was then recessed, because you can see it's just sitting right on top of the titanium scale. I mean, again, look at the Duris. Yeah, that one is recessed. Before we go ahead and get a weight on this, I just want to show you on the inside. Yeah, you can see that there is no like internal skeletonization going on. But hey, you know what? That's okay, because the Kitefin, oh man, is super lightweight. I mean, 2.9 ounces, which is going to be about 3 AA batteries. Well, look at that, almost the same weight as the Rat 2. All right, now something I'm sure that you're all dying to see is, well, how well does this 2.55 millimeter thick blade stock, how well does it cuts? Why don't we see? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you had to know. Man, you had to know that this thing would slice well. I mean, just judging by just looking at it, I mean, with the hollow grind and the thin blade. Now let's see after that how it handles some paper. Oh yes. Holy cow. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so if let's say if this Kitefin, okay, let's say it's a little bit outside of like your comfort zone, price-wise, I think a really good budget option alternative for this would be this is the CH3001. They're even, wow, look at that, even about the same size. They do feel very similar. Now, for those of you that are really liking what you see here, I would love to know which version, because there's friggin' 8 of them, which one do you have, or which one are you planning on purchasing? Sound off down in the comment section below. I like this knife. I like it a lot, but other than the pocket clip, I mean, it's not really doing anything all that special. It's a titanium frame lock with S35 BN blade. I mean, pretty standard. Now, if you have a smaller collection, yeah, why not? $153? I mean, WE knows how to make a quality knife. It's very light, slim design, cuts well, and it makes a really nice everyday carry. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you got, I mean, any value from it, do me a favor and just let me know by leaving one of these. Don't forget to click on subscribe. Hey, thanks for watching. I will see you at the next video. You guys take care. See you later.